Tiddlybits there. He commented on, or he, pretty sure it's a he. It doesn't matter. This person, Tiddlybits, commented on Leslie Lemke video, and it's interesting. This is the first time I've ever seen it. I'm not bragging. It's just interesting to me. It's the first time I've seen 3 comments from the same person come up in a row with different videos, and some more recent. Actually, a couple more older, and that's the first one was more recent, and a couple are older. And I'm like, I got to see what the hell was going on in these. So I watch them. I'm like, okay, I can comment properly. Yeah, and this Leslie Lemke video, it just took me back, man. And realize if you want to... my dad's jacket is starting to chafe. Getting heavy on me. There are like a couple other videos. I think there are 3 on the playlist. There are like 3 of them on the playlist. If you like Leslie Lemke videos, so I went back and I started watching this damn. It was the first one that he commented on. It's interesting. What it means to me is he looked, he said, what the fuck is this? And he looked around, and he might be working for somebody. I might be in trouble. They're just gathering evidence. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I spoke my mind. That can get you into trouble. I had to stop just today in the place of my employ. I felt comfortable with the person I was about to speak to, and then I stopped and I looked and I said, I better not. That could land me in HR. And the person didn't even understand, and it was like, you have no idea how deep and fucked up this can get in the eyes of others. But I had to go ahead and look at this. And it reminded me, it was speaking of Leslie Lemke, I spoke of Dr. Jeckyll, the strange story of Dr. Jeckyll and Mr. Hyde. These are things I grew up hearing about. Frankenstein, vampire, the fucking Dracula guy, Jeckyll and Hyde. And so as an adult, when my time was passing, I realized I need to know these things for myself. So the books would come, I'd come across them somewhere, and I say, I need to know this for myself. They'd just come at the right time. And so then Jeckyll and Hyde, strange story, whatever the hell they call it, came into my hands, and I wiped it back on it. Oh no, that's an elephant joke. And I found the story absolutely wonderful. Very, very good. And there was a difference. And between that and the movie version, which was done, I believe, in 1933, I believe it was Frederick Myers. Now my shirt's starting to chafe. And in the book, there's Dr. Jeckyll. He takes a serum. It's supposed to let the side of you out, make you a complete person. But he's been such a nice guy his whole life. He's testing it on himself. He's like, oh, this will be a wonderful thing for, what do you call it? Medical shit. And he's cool. And I'm reading the book, and he's like, and he's in the mirror, and he's and he looks and he says, free, free. And he does that. The book, I could see that in my eyes, in my mind's eye, right back here, right between the occipital lobe, somewhere in the middle where that fucking mind kicks in. And before you can even see it, well, you wouldn't see it, you're reading it, but the words have power. If you know anything of magic, words have power. And the written word, that's why they call the Bible the Word. Word, verb. Then, having read the book, I had to look into the movie. And it was on like A&E or one of these, AMC, whatever the hell it is, one of these old, and it's a 1933 movie, black and white. And the makeup was spectacular because I got to see my favorite part of the movie, and he didn't let me down. Dr. Jeckyll standing there. See, that's the thing. You let the other side of you out. He was nice for so long. He's been bottling up, just pushing down this fucking other part of himself. And that little part of himself is obviously gonna be a little simian, fucking monkey-like person. Just, hateful. Hi! Bites. It bites. And there's Dr. Jeckyll in black and white, Frederick Myers, earning his Oscar. And they did some kind of makeup on it where his face was able to change. He's little again. He's free. Free. And I said, wow. And I said, that was better than I could have ever done. And there's a reason he won the Oscar. But the interesting thing about that is it's the only one that I think that has ever been an Oscar year which awarded 2 Oscar Best Actors. And the other one was something else. I told you about it once because I've talked about this stuff a long time ago. Tiddlybits. You gotta fucking look up, watch the shit, and let me know when the one that I talked about it is, because I used to remember them all. That could be 2 years ago. Big fan of Jeckyll and Hyde. And so seeing this thing come up again because of Leslie Lemke in a time where abortion is at risk of being illegal, when everybody's lived their lives knowing that abortion was always a possibility and nobody cared but the people that wanted to tell them that it mattered. And you didn't have to listen to them. The good old days. When you didn't have to listen to selfish, self-centered pricks. But here it comes. It made me think about when I was a child. I had a massive head injury. Everybody laughs when I say that. Like, what, you don't know?
I was going to see if you wanted to feel my butt.
Do what?
I said I was going to see if you wanted to feel my butt.
Feel your butt?
I just got done working out.
Oh. I didn't start the video soon enough. Otherwise, we would have been able to hear you screaming in the other room. Nolan's home! Mm.
Mm. Oh, wait. I got less.
Oh. Round steak. Love cube steak. Un siete? Yeah, chase him out. He's got that door over there. Free! I was just doing a Leslie Lemke video. For tiddlybits. There's someone for everyone. So I had a massive head injury. And the thing is, I explained it when I was doing parking lot striping. I guess the only time I'd ever say boss in my life, I guess. He didn't have control of me, but he sure wanted to. And I could fucking... Anyway. He had been to the Egyptian Rosicrucians and stuff when he was younger. And he had this whole thing about it. And he'd make me drink with him after we finished the day of work. He'd say, go get me 4 packs of Pall Malls and a couple of bottles of red wine. And get yourself a 12-pack. Okay. So it was part of my job to sit and drink with the boss after work. And with this Rosicrucian stuff, somehow we got talking about it. I told him the whole thing. I said, yeah, I remember even all the whole thing. I was running around. My mother and my godmother were sitting at the table smoking cigarettes because people did that when the kids just running around. And I'm saying that her daughter was there, my godmother's daughter was there too, and we were just running around. And I said, I'm a big boy. I can get my own water now. And without them realizing, I moved a fucking rickety chair over to the sink and climbed up onto the fucking, grabbed the cup, turned on the water, because I could get a drink of water of my own. I'm a big kid. I was like 2.5. And that feeling when the chair comes out from under you, and I saw the cabinets going by as I was falling, the cabinet doors, and bling, everything went black. Huh. You just can't stop that kid from jumping off of shit. And then the next thing I remember, I was up in the corner of the room. That means something too if you study things. I was in the corner of this room, looking down, and there was little Archie, and he's fucking laying there, and he's getting picked up by my godmother and my mother on the couch. In the old brown winter jacket, I remember that jacket. I still wore it afterwards. I remember it. But they were putting that on me. I was like a rag doll. Not supposed to let a concussion victim go to sleep, they say, but I guess I'd been asleep in a while. I guess we better do something. And I could see him like a rag doll. They're putting that thing on me. And that's all I remember. Then I come back, and it's me and me, maybe. And I woke up, and the doctors were standing. I was in a cage. There were bars. It was a cover. I was locked in the hospital, and no anything in anywhere, just locked in the cage. And the doctors are standing there, and I could see my mother over the one shoulder. And I thought, just like the family pictures where everybody goes like that, like we're a monkey, there are many pictures of us in the photo albums. All the kids are like a monkey, and my dad too. We'd take pictures like that. And it might have been my first joke. And I said, I'm in a cage. I'm a monkey. And so I made a joke. I meant to make this joke. I remember. And I jumped up and I grabbed the bars and I acted like a monkey. It was a joke. And I could see my mother over the shoulder of the doctors go. And later in life, she told me, when I asked her, I talked to her about this stuff. She validated all of my stories. She didn't even know the question. She probably didn't even remember it without being asked. But I said, do you remember that day when I was 2.5 years old? This is 28 years later, asking her this stuff, and she says, yeah. I said, what were you thinking? I saw the look of dismay on her face. That's in my memory, but it didn't hurt my feelings. I'm used to people being disappointed in me. And she said, I was thinking, oh my God, is he gonna stay that way? And I said, and she says, and you did. And I was like, I made it. The whole thing that got thrown in. And so I tell this story, and there's Jim Forrest, parking lot striping guy, and he says, you ought to buy in. I said, buy in? I said, what are you talking about? I get magic from all different directions. It just comes in its own time. I don't study this stuff unless it's thrown at me. There's so much information running around the world, you don't have to study anything. Just take it for what it is. You become a well-rounded person. Even if you're not well-grounded. He said, a buy-in. He said, that's when there's a spirit. A loose soul just moving through, it's got no place to go, and they watch, and they see a body that's vacant, without a soul, and they come in, shoom, and they take it the minute it comes out. I'd say instant, but I don't know if it happens that quick. And so I had another person come into me. He says, when you're up there, whatever. It might have even been me, the new guy that was looking down at this rag doll thing, where it was little Archie, I don't know, bounding around in the cabinets, I suppose. And he said, I said, and I came in. And it took some time to get the mind in place with the body, but I do have memories of the time. But as it turns out, there's no reason to keep anybody out. Archie comes back in, and this is what Jim Force is trying to say. And it could be one guy's a little bit more rambunctious, and the other one is a bit too kind, and they take care of each other when the time comes. One of them gets, like, he needs to be kept under control. One of them tells him. One of them needs to lose control. The other one tells him. And so they get along. They're a fine disguise for each other, I suppose, is what Jim Force says. I don't fucking say any of this shit. What it makes me think, though. Okay. So there was Archie, and Judas comes in. I'm speaking third person here because there are three of us. And so Judas and Archie lived together and get along just fine for the longest time. But at some point, it's like Muhammad Ali said, any man who thinks the same as he did at 40 years old, the same at 40 years old as he did when he was like 18 or 20, a young man. Any 40-year-old who thinks like the young man that he was has not grown. So yes, here it comes. Maybe Judas and Archie were doing all right together. But it seems to develop, and you think of Jeckyll and Hyde. Oh, what if there's another one that's still being kept down or still needs to develop through the two of them? Would it be Jeckyll and Judas? Coming soon to a ditch near you.